easy bake oven, pero ahora tengo un dash air fryer.
Hola a todos y bienvenidos a mi cocina una vez más. I'm Lynn and welcome to my kitchen one more time. Nunca tuve un easy bake oven, pero ahora tengo un dash air fryer.
And like an easy bake oven, it's fun.
Because I want to try new things out sometimes and see what works in the air fryer and what doesn't work. It's really a great appliance for cooking for one person. This is the case with the homemade pot pie that I'm going to make today for you. Well, I'm going to make it for me, really. I wanted to try out a pot pie recipe that had a crust with less saturated fat than those that you buy frozen in the store. So I found this recipe online. It's a recipe that uses canola oil in it.
I think this recipe's pretty good.
For the filling, I have about 1.5 cups of leftover turkey with some pieces of carrots, celery, and onion. I also cooked at the time I cooked the turkey. 3 tablespoons of leftover gravy. And I have about 3 tablespoons of green peas that I thawed out in the microwave for about 20 seconds.
If you don't have anything in the fridge to make your filling, you can use some canned turkey, and you can look at the nutritional values of the turkey, and it's really pretty good from the can. You might get a little more sodium, but it isn't so bad. And also for the gravy, you can use some of this packaged gravy, mix you up a little bit on the stove or in the microwave.
For the pie crust, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of canola oil, and 2.5 tablespoons of ice water. I'll put the flour in a mixing bowl. A small one is good enough, and add the salt to it. Mix the salt into the flour to get it incorporated. Set that aside. We have the cold ice water in the cup. Add the canola oil to it. Whisk that with the fork until it gets creamy. Add that to the flour mixture all at once. And then we'll stir that into the flour mixture to make our dough. Just keep adding from the side. We can take our hands and work that together to form a ball. Now this should be a relatively sticky dough, but if you find that it's really dry, you can add a bit more of ice water. Now we're going to wipe down the counter, in this case the mat that I've got here, with a damp cloth, and we're going to lay down a square of wax paper. The dampness will hold the wax paper. Then I'm going to take about 2/3 and put it down on my wax paper in order to roll it out. This is the part that I'm going to use for the bottom crust, and so I'm going to need a larger piece than for the top. Then we'll take another piece of wax paper and gently squeeze it down. Then we'll start to roll it out between the 2 pieces of wax paper. As I said, we want to try to get it into a rectangle form as much as possible. Okay, we've got it almost, not quite a rectangle shape, but it'll work. And we've got it into about, I would say, a 1/16 of an inch thick. It's pretty thin. We'll gently peel the top piece of wax paper off. And now we'll loosen it a little bit from the paper. So we have it loosened from the wax paper, and I'm just gonna take the pan, put my hand underneath, kind of tuck it up in there as I'm putting the dough in, and then I'm going to peel off the wax paper. And there we go. Just use your hands to mold the dough into the pan. And with a fork, I'm just going to make a few little holes in the dough. The air fryer is out. I put a aluminum foil sling so that I can lift the pan out of the air fryer. I'll place the bottom crust in the air fryer. This size pan just fits in the Dash compact air fryer. I'll fold down the wings on the sling, and then I'll place it into the air fryer. Set the temperature for about 350. Then I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes and check on my crust. While that's baking, I'm going to roll out the top of my crust. The timer just went off. Let's check on the bottom crust. It smells really good and is starting to get brown, but I'm going to leave it in for about 3 more minutes. Okay, it's a bit browner. I'm going to take it out because it will cook again when I'm cooking the rest. But this is one of the things that you can do with your homemade pot pies that you can't do with the frozen ones from the store. So now we're going to add our top. I'm just going to place it over the top, push it against the bottom crust so we get some connection there. And you can crimp up the edges if you want to make it look even nicer. Then we'll take a fork and make some holes just to let out any steam. I'm gonna put the wings down just a little bit so it goes into the fryer more easily. Again, I've got the temp set for 350, and I'm going to put the timer this time for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to check it again to see how it's cooking. I'm probably going to need about 15 minutes total, but I like to check it just a little bit early just to see how it's going. I've just taken out the pot pie after the final 5 minutes, and I'm going to just let it rest for a while so that it can cool down a little bit. My kitchen smells like my mom's house on Sunday morning. I think the pie's just about ready for tasting. It's still very, very hot, but I'm getting anxious to see how it is. Let me take my fork, as I did with the frozen pot pie, and we'll do a little digging. The crust is nice and crunchy. I smell that turkey. Let me take a bite for you. I got a little ahead of myself, but let me take a bite so that you can see. I wish you could taste, to be honest. See all that nice turkey? Nice and hot inside. The crust. Really nice and crunchy. That goes really well with the filling. This would go so well with a nice little salad. I guess I'll have to fix myself one. Thank you all for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed making the pot pie with me, and I hope you'll come back soon. Y vamos a divertirnos juntos. Adiós. Nos vemos la próxima vez.